Good afternoon, Southwest Florida. I'm Bri Walling. This Naples Herald Lunch Break is sponsored by our friends at Fusillo Kia of Cape Coral. This afternoon, we'll tell you about Cape Coral's P2 personal training, offering core strengthening for those needing more than just weight loss. The U.S. and Russia summit underway, with both leaders spending time behind closed doors to discuss world issues and more. Today is Monday, July 16th, and this is the Lunch Break. CJ Patrick is everything you'd expect in a kid. He loves baseball, playing Fortnite, staying up late during the summer, is always the top of his class, and he also has cerebral palsy. It's a condition CJ was born with, a condition that typically causes impaired movement by causing abnormal reflexes or posture, floppiness or rigidity of the limbs, or involuntary movement. And in some extreme cases, it can remove all mobility from a person. CJ's father, Chris, said he found out about P2 personal training during one of CJ's Little League games. P2 specializes in what's referred to as astroderms, in which the subject is attached to a bungee cord and undergoes a series of weight and resistance-based endurance exercises. The training turned out to be perfect for CJ in addition to his regular physical therapy because it lets him get a lot of core work done without worrying about the whole staying on the ground part. The family has lived in Cape Coral for a little over 2 years now. Chris is a disabled veteran and has been working through that to help support CJ's need for medical trips to Tampa or even Gainesville for specialists. Chris admitted that some times are worse than others and that the family has had to set up some things similar to GoFundMe accounts for a little extra assistance. CJ was on his way to a minor surgery later in the week, a procedure to get a little more strength and straighten out his leg, and doctors believe it will lead to a massive jump in mobility for him. The family has set up a page for donations, and if you'd like to donate towards CJ's ongoing needs, you can find the link in the article on naplesherald.com. It was a victory for all of France after a 4-2 win over Croatia in the World Cup final in Moscow on Sunday, marking the second time in 20 years that France has won the World Cup. Troublemakers marred some of the festivities at the top of the Champs-Élysées, breaking the window of a major store, throwing bottles, temporary barriers, and even a bicycle at riot police as the celebrations wound down close to midnight. For all the crazy antics and some revelers who got out of control, there was a reported sense of patriotism and unity that was almost visceral, with celebrations spread across the nation throughout the weekend. As night fell, the Eiffel Tower flashed 1998 and 2018 to mark France's 2 World Cup titles. The Arc de Triomphe was awash in the national colors, lit with a rooster, the faces of the winning team, and the words "proud to be blue" or French. President Emmanuel Macron, who was in Moscow celebrating with the team on Victory Night, will receive the squad more formally today at the Presidential Elysee Palace. President Trump and Russia's Vladimir Putin opened their long-awaited summit today with a wink and a slouch, respectively, then talked one-on-one behind closed doors for more than 2 hours before the American leader declared their meeting was off to a very, very good start for everybody, though neither leader revealed what was discussed. In advance of the talks, Trump listed a series of topics that did not include Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election. Putin said he and Trump have maintained regular contact through phone calls and meetings at international events, but the time had finally come to have a thorough discussion on various international problems and sensitive issues. The summit, which is being closely watched around the world, was not the first time Trump and Putin have held talks. They met on the sidelines of world leader meetings in Germany and Vietnam last year. But the latest session was condemned in advance by members of Congress from both parties after the U.S. indictment last week of 12 Russian military intelligence officers accused of hacking Democrats in the